Hey guys, welcome back to the Financial Minute. My name's Josh, like usual. Thank you so much for joining me. Have you ever wondered why, when you put money away for a long period of time, the value of that money seems to go down? Well, yes, I have too. It's called depreciation, and depreciation is a huge hot topic these days, as you all most likely know. But what do you think about saving money? Saving money is a pretty positive thing, you know? It has a very positive connotation to it. You save money, save it for a rainy day, right? But I'm here to say that saving money probably isn't your best bet. Yes, not spending money is great, but what do you do with that money that you don't spend? Well, most people, when they save money, they just stick it in a bank account, or maybe under their mattress. They maybe buy some government bonds, savings certificates. None of these saving methods really create wealth. They just hold the money, and they don't really pay any interest. I think the average savings rate these days is 0.00 something. So it's not really saving you much. Even a high interest savings account, which is what I used to like a lot, these days they're paying like 0.5%, maybe even less. Maybe you might find 1%. Of course, you see these videos on YouTube saying, 100% APY or 1,000% APY, but I find these savings methods are in the cryptocurrency genre, and you really have to know what you're doing, and there's a lot of risk that generally involves creating those returns. So what do you do with your money then? Saving it, it's not good if you're not doing anything with it. You're just kind of putting it under a mattress, or a proverbial mattress if it's in the savings account, and letting Uncle Sam claim it, basically, over time with inflation. So this is why I recommend not to save your money. This might be a little confusing because I'm all about not spending your money, and that is true. But I'm also not all about not saving your money and just leaving it in a checking account, because the only one doing anything good with that money, if it's in your checking account, is the bank. Because you know what they do with that money? They invest it, and they turn around and they make a huge profit on your money, while they give you next to nothing or nothing in return. Of course, they give you the ability to store your money somewhere with the FDIC, safety protection, so you can't lose that money per se. But in reality, you are losing that money through inflation. And possibly checking fees, if there's checking fees with these, or savings account fees with these accounts. A lot of times they charge a monthly fee if you don't keep a certain balance, etc. So you might find your money disappears, even though they guarantee it won't. They just legally take it, or Uncle Sam takes it by decreasing the value of your currency. What do I do to avoid this? Well, y'all know me, I like to buy real estate. There's lots of ways to buy real estate. You don't have to have a ton of money to buy real estate. You can buy it creatively. You could even start with your apartment. You can rent out a room in your apartment. You don't have to actually own the real estate per se to make money on it. You can make money off somebody else's real estate. You heard the term making money off somebody else's money, or OPM, other people's money. What about OPR, other people's real estate? You can make money off other people's real estate by just renting out a room. Maybe you rent an apartment, you rent out a room to a roommate. It wouldn't really be a roommate, they'd be an apartment mate. Especially if you have two bathrooms, that's pretty easy to do. In some markets, you can get really high money, top dollar, just for renting out a room. Some markets, you can even rent out a couch or a piece of floor. It just depends on where you live. Real estate is quite high in some areas. Also, when the value of currency goes down, usually the the value of real estate goes up. So real estate does not follow the value of currency. It's an asset. Unless you just live in it, in which case it's a liability because it costs money to own real estate. So if you're just living in it, it could be a home, but it's nonetheless a liability, in my opinion. So guys, this is how I feel about saving money and how you can avoid losing your money through inflation by owning real estate. Now let's talk about how you can avoid losing money through inflation by owning stocks. Probably not bonds, but I would say stocks. And unless you really have a lot of time to invest into owning stocks, I would recommend just owning a broad fund. Just own a fund that follows the S&P 500 and leave it at that. I have some links down in the description if you want to set up your own account if you don't already have one, through maybe Robinhood, Betterment, what else? There's others, but I have check the links down in the description below if you don't have a investment account already, or if you even do, you can set up another one because a lot of times you get perks for setting up a new one with a different company. So it doesn't hurt to not have all your eggs in one basket, as they'll say. I wouldn't recommend having all of your investments in one fund. Definitely not one fund, and I wouldn't even have them all in one brokerage. I would mix it up a little bit. I use multiple brokerages. I wouldn't have everything in like Robinhood. You know, it's just a good idea to spread your eggs around. Don't leave them all in one basket. Another, a little more, different way of investing your money is buying things like collector automobiles or maybe valuable coins. Of course, you have to know a little bit more about these fields, but if you're interested in these fields and you want to learn about some of these fields, you could turn a hobby into a lucrative investment. Some people even I know a guy who actually buys and sells watches, makes money doing that. So he invests his money into watches. Sometimes he uses other people's money with a credit card and 0% financing for a year. He'll buy a watch and sell it, and he never even spent a penny of his money. He'll make a few $100. So there's ways to make money. That's more of a way to make money than to invest it. But then there's investing it would be to buy a appreciating gem like a watch or a piece of jewelry, diamonds, etc., that are going up in value. Another way to hold your capital especially during a time of high inflation. Well, guys, I'm going on a little bit longer than I wanted to, so I'm just gonna wrap it up here. The trick is you really want to keep your hard-earned money out of any particular currency. And if you do keep it in currency, you might hold multiple currencies. Of course, that's a whole ball of wax that I don't have a lot of experience in, so definitely do your research and do your due diligence. And remember, guys, as always, I am not a financial investment advisor, there we go, and I'm definitely not your financial advisor. So make sure you do your own due diligence, do your research. I'm just giving you some ideas to look into, and as always, remember, only you can make your financial dreams come true. Don't delay, get started today. I will see you all in the next video. Be safe, God bless, bye. I like this background. What do y'all think? Oh, P.S. Let me know what you think about the background. I'm on the road, staying at somebody else's property, Airbnb, making somebody else some money on their real estate. So it's a beautiful spot here, and I like traveling all around the country, staying at different people's Airbnbs or what's the other company? I can't think of it. If you don't have an Airbnb account, make sure you set one up. I have a link down in the description so you can get started staying at Airbnbs. They're really cool, very unique. When you stay at hotels a lot, hotels get really boring really quick. So Airbnb gives you a way to safely stay at other people's properties and take in stuff you wouldn't, and visit properties you normally wouldn't get access to. So be safe, guys. I'll see y'all next video. Bye. Again.